Alrighty, so as you can probably tell from the title, today I will be filming a what I eat in a day video. I decided to film this video because I get a lot of people asking me what I eat and how I get enough protein in being vegetarian. So today I'm just going to be taking you through what I eat. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snacks, and you'll get to see everything I eat on a typical day, as well as how much protein is in each meal. I'm a little tired and I'm pretty hungry, so let's go make breakfast. Okay, so I always start every day off with a protein smoothie. Sorry if it's a little loud right now. They are doing some gardening outside. I can't control it. So I always make either a vanilla or chocolate smoothie depending on the day. Today it's quite rainy out, so I'm feeling more like chocolate, you know, just comfy junk food, healthy junk food, my kind of way. So I always start with a cup of ice. So I just put some ice in the blender cup. I will then go ahead and put in 1 tablespoon of peanut butter. So I'll actually weigh that on my scale just to make sure I know exactly how much is going in. You can use any peanut butter. I just like the all natural, so I get the Adams. Okay, so now that we have the ice and the peanut butter, I'll add in my protein. So I just use the Vega chocolate protein. Otherwise I use vanilla. I don't really use this one for any specific reason. It's just kind of my favorite vegan protein I've tried. If you have any other suggestions for me, comment down below because I would really like to try some new ones. Next, I'm gonna add some spinach. So I just have a big bag of spinach here. I'll just add a handful. After the spinach, I'll add some cinnamon, just for a little extra flavor. And now I'm gonna add a banana. I just use cashew milk. I just find it a little silkier. That's why I use cashew. And now we blend it up. Alrighty, so that's it. This is my peanut butter chocolate smoothie, and I have a smoothie every single day for the past about 2 years. I don't know what it is. I just love to have a smoothie at some point every day. I find them honestly just like one of the most perfect meals. So I like to start my day off with a smoothie. Alright, so it's now just about 3:30, so I'm gonna make my lunch. I would normally have it a little bit earlier, but today I just wasn't as hungry, so I just pushed it off a bit. But I will show you what we're having. Okay, so for lunch I usually have a protein wrap, and I make it using these flat out wraps. Ooh. They are protein up, carb down. So they have 12 grams of protein and 7 grams of net carbs, which is really good for protein in the wrap. And then I made my own hummus the other day. It's a lemon garlic hummus. So I'll use some of that. After I have that spread on, I'll put some tzatziki on it. So this is a Greek one, so it's a little thicker. Then I'll cut up an avocado, and I'll use half of that. Now I add a little bit of arugula. And some sprouts. Alfalfa sprouts. And then just a little bit of yellow mustard. Kind of a weird combination, but I really like it. Now we'll wrap her up. I don't usually add any other protein sources like tofu or anything, just because the wrap is pretty high in protein, and then I also have the chickpeas. Okay, so this is it for my lunch. Sometimes I'll have a bit of a bigger lunch, but like I was saying today, I'm just not that hungry. So this is pretty typical for me. Anyways, I'm gonna eat this and then I'll see you again for dinner. Alrighty, I'm back and it is time for dinner. So a typical dinner for me is a huge salad with some tofu on it. I really like to have big salads at least once a day just to get like my nutrients in, and it's also very filling and low calories. So to start, we're gonna prep the tofu. For my tofu, I like to have some ginger, onion, garlic, and soy sauce seasoning in it. So I'm just gonna grate some ginger right now. So I'll use about this much. I just cut all the edges off and then I'll grate it in this like fine little grater I have. It's like a weird shape because it has a container that goes on the bottom that you can store everything in, but not necessary right now. I'm always really scared to get my finger in here, but what can you do? Next, I'll do some onion. So I have a quarter of an onion left here. I'll just dice it. And last we will do garlic. So I just do one clove of garlic. So smash it. Not on the floor, but look at that. Alrighty, let's try that again. And that will help get the shell off. Alrighty, and that looks good. So let's get that ginger off the grater. I will throw that on the pan. So I'll just put a little bit of Pam on here so nothing sticks. And then we'll throw everything in there together. So I always use the Sunrise really firm tofu. So I always cut it into thirds and then I'll have 1/3 each night. So for the tofu, it's pretty simple how I cook it. So I'll just shred it. Yeah, so then you can see it's like really like fine. A little flame. And once I put the tofu on, I will also add this Briggs liquid soy seasoning. I really like it because it is 0 calories. And it tastes like soy sauce. So I'll pour that on there. And then I will add a little bit of nutritional yeast. So just sprinkle that on. And I cook it for about 5 minutes. Okay, so now we're gonna make a salad dressing. Lately I've been making my own. I used to usually just use pure mustard. I know it sounds weird, but don't knock it until you try it. It's really good. I love me some mustard. But lately I've been making this kind of like vegan, it's almost like Caesar dressing for like me. Don't quote me on that. Anyway, so I use sesame butter, which is also known as tahini. I just use about a tablespoon of that. I don't measure it. And then it's kind of bitter on its own, so I like to mix in some apple cider vinegar just to kind of counteract with the bitterness. Added a little too much, so we'll pour some in the sink. Alrighty, and then the last ingredient will just be a little bit of cashew milk just to give it that creamy texture that I'm really looking for in a salad dressing. Once again, not too much. You can always add more if you think it's necessary. I want it to be like runny but still kind of thick because I like when it sticks to like every piece of my salad. I don't like when like my dressing like soaks in at the bottom and then my last few bites are like super like dressing-y. So it does need a little bit more. There we go. Alrighty, and this looks like a good texture now. So you want it to be like runny but still kind of thick. Like that's a nice salad dressing for me. So that honestly took about 15 seconds. It's so easy to make. And now we're just gonna put together the salad and add all the ingredients together. All right, so for the actual salad, I'm gonna put in some cucumber. I use about 1/3 of like a large cucumber. And I'll just slice that in half, and then I'll slice it again. I usually also add in roasted beets to this, but your girl kind of messed up. So it was 2 days ago, I was putting a new batch of beets in the oven, and I always turn the oven off and then let them cook a bit longer, like as the oven's cooling down, just so they cool down with it, and then I can like peel them and get them all ready. So it was pretty late at night when I started cooking them. I put them in the oven, I turned the oven off, I was letting them cool down, and I forgot. And then I went to bed, and I didn't remember until like the next night, the next day. So they were like all shriveled up and no longer beets. So unfortunately, it's gonna be very green, so I'm just gonna have cucumber, kale, and arugula. So for the kale, I've already pre-washed and chopped it just to make it easy for myself. I usually do about 2 cups, which is about what's left in here, so I'm just gonna pour it all in. And then we'll add in the arugula. I also sometimes do romaine lettuce because we have a lot in the fridge, but I'm kind of just feeling this like kale and arugula mixture right now. So now that we have our veggies in here, I will go ahead and add the dressing. Alrighty, and since this is just for me, I am the only one eating it, I will mix it with my hands. I like to massage my kale. I like when it's a little less firm and it's easier for you to digest when it's been massaged. So I just like to give it a little rub. And I also like dressing to be on like every piece of my salad. You know, I don't want some bites that don't have dressing. So I find the easiest way to do that is just mixing it with your hand. Unless you're someone who really cares about that, then sorry. Alrighty, and now that the salad is all mixed, I will go ahead and add the tofu on top of it. But also, can you see how big this bowl is? It is honestly the size of my face. Like I was saying, I really like to have a big salad at night just because it's very satiating. I find that I'm very full and really satisfied after having this like really hearty meal. So I like to end my night off on it so that I'm not like having any extra cravings. Like if I'm not super full, then I'm always kind of like peckish and I'll usually go for like more treats. But this way I'm usually really full, and it also leaves me like more calories during the day if I eat my salad at night, because I get more like peckish in the afternoon, like 3 to 5, and then nighttime I'm never really too hungry, so I like to have just like a big salad just to make sure I'm getting all my nutrients in at the end of the day. And now I will just throw my tofu on top. Alrighty, and there you have it. That is my tofu salad dinner that I have almost every single night. And that is my full day of eating. I hope you really enjoyed watching what I eat throughout the day. It might be very different than what you eat, but I just like to show you where I'm getting my protein and the type of meals I enjoy, and maybe spark some ideas for you. So thank you for watching, and I'm gonna go eat this.